Hello friends, in Alaska's Arctic, walruses' bloody hunts stun, while Bristol Bay's fishermen battle 41.5 million salmon in 2025 stormy chaos. Climate change and pebble mine threaten this wild empire. Join Trending Farm to fight back. In the frozen cataclysm of Alaska's Arctic, there is a creature whose majesty is almost a physical symbol of the land itself. The walrus erupts from the abyss, a fang-armed juggernaut of the deep. This Odobenus rosmarus is no mere beast. It's a mythic berserker in native sagas, a cataclysmic omen of frost, a desperate lifeline for warriors battling coastal Armageddon. Its onslaught hits like seismic terror. A behemoth of sinew and blubber smashes scales at 2 tons of apocalyptic might. Encased in battle-scarred leather armor, it wields tusks, razor-honed ivory scimitars forged in oceanic carnage. Picture a storm-lashed shore overrun by hundreds of walruses, jammed in a deafening maelstrom, Earth's most pulse-racing inferno. Their thunderclap bellows and visceral snarls ignite barbaric bedlam. Bodies fuse into a bulwark against soul-freezing gales. Tusks rip for supremacy, slashing rival flanks in frenzied power plays. This ironclad hide, obsidian grey from glacial assaults, blazes crimson under the tyrannical sun, a nightmarish clash of fire and extinction. The walrus's rage surges from death-defying adaptations. Blubber barricades, 6 inches deep, defy sub-zero infernos. Whiskers like demonic radars scour pitch-black seabeds. They seize clams, mussels, snails in predatory blitzes. Thousands devoured daily, they're the abyss's merciless reapers. Tusks 3 feet of serrated doom yank titanic frames onto buckling ice toothwalkers. They explode into gore-soaked mating frenzies, etch savage wounds as emblems of merciless triumph. For eons, the walrus forges a blood oath with Arctic native peoples, Inuit, Yupik. Hides twist into indestructible cables for kayaks against tidal annihilation. Blubber blazes beacons through infinite voids. Muktuk surges with survival elixirs. Bones and tusks sculpt armaments inscribing tribal auspices. Hunting ignites a do-or-die sacrament. Umiaks glide through shrieking tempests. Harpoons detonate through armored flesh with sealskin lifelines. Hours of bone-crushing showdowns wrench the convulsing colossus from the grave. Unbelievable savagery. The walrus detonates. Butching ensues with ritualistic fury, no remnant squandered. Knives carve through blubber, hides forge ropes. Muktuk fuels survival. John, a Bristol Bay veteran American fisherman, relieves a U-pick onslaught. He endured a walrus ambush that hurled their craft into chaos, a hair's breadth from oblivion. From Arctic titans to a scarlet apocalypse Bristol Bay, the throbbing epicenter of sockeye Armageddon, summer unleashes biotic holocaust. 61.7 million salmon rampaging upstream in 2025. Silver phantoms morph into scarlet marauders, hurled by evolution's suicidal decree to breed or perish. Waters convulse in cataclysmic surge, a living storm where one misstep sweeps you away. American fishermen helm gillnet predators. They obey VHF war cries, motors howling into fray, nets avalanche into currents lethal more. Throttle gills in lattice of extinction 41.2 million, vanquished in 2025's volcanic surge, up 18% from forecast. ADF and G's iron oversight, guided by sonar, ensures this delicate dance spares spawners for eternity. One squad withstood a gale at the bar. Breakers smashed decks like divine retribution, adrenaline, or drowning doom. These primal crusades defy spectral doomsday climate change shattering ice.
They'll turn around and they'll jog into the seas and tell the story.
Spawning walrus stampedes of thousands. Frenzied mobs trample calves in pulverizing carnage. A gnome elder. 2025, USGS treks beheld shrinking clusters on evaporating shelves, herds teetering at approximately 257,000, gutted by scorching currents and derailing raids. Bristol Bay's sockeye colossus powers thousands of livelihoods and native dynasties, yet Pebble Mine's undead menace haunts Northern Dynasty's October 2025 briefs assail EPA's 2023 blockade. Eradicate salmon legions and trillion-dollar wild bastions as fevered tides warp Odysseus in the now. Shielding these demigods eclipses beast salvation. It's barricading American economies, indigenous bloodlines, a frontier nourishing the realm. Act now, slash emissions with energy smart homes and renewable surges. Every strike counts, lest this unbelievable wasteland, nurturing native essences and American armadas, dissolve into void. Let thunder roar and scarlet tempests rage undying.
How do Arctic communities harvest a walrus to survive brutal winters? Can this ancient tradition withstand climate change? Hunting and butchering a giant walrus, Bloody Journey on the IC reveals the walrus harvesting process in Alaska and Nunavut, from hunt to cultural traditions. Approved by the Eskimo Walrus Commission and local hunters, this film uses 2025 data from the US Geological Survey and WWF to show a vital survival practice in America's Arctic. Three, the film starts with preparation for the walrus harvest in Alaska's coastal villages. Families sharpen rifles and harpoons with ropes, tools honed over 2,000 years. Elders teach young hunters to target large adult male walruses for maximum meat and fat. The Eskimo Walrus Commission sets a sustainable harvest quota at 2.25% of the adult population to protect the species. A young apprentice shares his excitement and nerves before his first hunt. Hunters check ice conditions and weather, then use small motorized canoes to reach walrus herds on sea ice or shores. Next, the documentary shows the intense walrus harvest. Hunters approach quietly to avoid startling the herd, aiming for a bull over 1,000 pounds. They fire rifles and throw harpoons to secure the animal, using ropes to stop it from diving underwater. The harvest ends quickly to minimize suffering, following strict community rules. An elder explains how they watch water currents to avoid risks, as walruses can weigh a ton and charge with sharp tusks. Community-approved footage captures the real dangers of this step. After the harvest, the film details the harvesting and use of every walrus part. Processing starts on the ice or boat. With long knives cutting along the body. Thick skin is removed first for boats or shoes. Blubber is sliced into blocks for oil lamps or winter food reserves. The dark red meat, up to 1,000 pounds, feeds about 50 families and is shared equally. Women and children dry or salt meat, storing it in snow pits that keep it fresh for months. Bones become tools or building parts. Tendons turn into fishing lines, and tusks are carved into jewellery or strength symbols. This harvest process ensures no waste, supporting daily life. At night, families gather around lamps fueled by harvested walrus fat, eating stew from fresh meat. They share throat singing and stories of past harvests that saved villages in tough winters. A Thanksgiving ceremony follows each harvest, with offerings to the sea to honour the walrus. Young hunters see this as a step to adulthood, learning responsibility from elders. Families work together to process the harvest, passing skills to keep tradition strong. Modern challenges facing the harvest are addressed next. Climate change melts sea ice, pushing walruses onto crowded land haulouts, raising stampede and predator risks. WWF's 2025 reports note significant habitat loss, with NOAA stating the Arctic warms twice as fast as other regions. The US Geological Survey's June 2025 expedition updates population estimates, currently around 257,000 based on recent WWF data. Shipping and oil activities add pressure. A USGS scientist explains how scattered herds make harvesting harder. The Eskimo Walrus Commission emphasises self-regulated quotas and tags to balance subsistence with conservation. Communities clarify this is for food, not sport, while CITES regulates walrus ivory trade with permits to prevent overuse. The film ends with hope for harvesting's future. In 2025, young hunters will use drones in partnerships with scientists to track walruses better. Villagers hold feasts under the northern lights, relying on harvested walrus products. The narration highlights the strength of these traditions, like tusks carved into lasting tools. It urges viewers to visit wwf.ect/Arctic to support conservation. And Elder concludes that the sea provides, and careful harvesting keeps the balance. For future generations. 9. This documentary explains the walrus harvesting cycle in clear terms. From preparation to the hunt, processing, cultural sharing, and facing modern challenges, it links each step to survival in Alaska's Arctic. Communities rely on this harvest for meat, fat, and materials, guided by sustainable rules from the Eskimo Walrus Commission. The film connects harvesting to community and respect for nature. With 2025 survey data showing stable populations if protections continue, it gives older viewers an engaging, straightforward look at how harvesting sustains life and culture in a changing world.
However, many countries have banned them due to the limited movement they allow sows, which is harmful to their health. To address this, the Nam Thum Agricultural Research Institute introduced welfare farming methods, allowing sows to move and eat freely at electronic feeding stations. This system improves group and individual feeding management, reduces labor costs, provides precise feeding, and extends sows' lifespans by 6 to 12 months. Advanced environmental control equipment, such as fans and water curtains, ensures a comfortable barn environment by regulating temperature, humidity, and air quality. Sows can give birth to about 20 piglets, which stay with their mother for 4 to 8 weeks before weaning. During this time, farmers focus on keeping piglets warm and healthy. What do you think about sow care in China? Leave a comment below the video to let us know. Pigs are typically harvested at 60 to 110 pounds. Farmers transport them early in the morning to avoid extreme temperatures and ensure stability during transit. The vehicle goes to the loading point, where pigs use a mobile ramp with anti-slip bars and barriers. The ramp is installed close to the ground and at an angle of no more than 20 degrees for safety. Farmers do not use any tools or threats that cause stress. Pigs selected for transport fast for at least 4 hours, but no more than 18 hours to prevent nausea. The transport vehicle must be clean, disinfected, and equipped with non-slip floors and ample space for pigs to move freely. Healthy pigs will be placed in a resting area with enough space and a comfortable environment. Rest time should not exceed 12 hours, ensuring the pigs are relaxed before entering the next step. The process of stunning pigs is done using methods such as electric shock or using CO2 gas. Anesthesia equipment and procedures must be checked regularly to ensure the pig does not regain consciousness during surgery. Once the pig is completely unconscious, the removal process will be performed within 20 to 60 seconds, ensuring the pig is completely cured before continuing with other processing steps. Workers need to ensure that, even in the final minutes, pigs are not subjected to unnecessary pain or stress. Implementing animal welfare procedures not only helps reduce pig suffering, but also improves the quality of meat products. After the surface layer of the pigs is cleaned, workers proceed to remove their internal organs. Disinfectant solutions are sprayed directly onto cuts to ensure food hygiene and safety. Another worker will examine and separate the organs into different parts. Then, the pig carcass is put through an industrial cutting machine with water sprays to cut it in half. Another worker uses a high-pressure hose to clean away bone dust and impurities during the cutting process. Experts will check the quality of the meat and stamp the pigs as meeting standards before sending them to the next stage. After being separated into many parts, the worker will filter the pig skin. Fresh pork skin will be boiled before further processing. After being cooked, the pork skin is dropped directly into a basin of cold water to cool and help maintain the crispness of the skin. The pig skin is put into a cage that rotates at high speed to remove all the water from the outside. The pork skin fat peeling machine helps remove excess fat stuck to the skin. Other workers will proceed to clean the hair on the surface. After completing the cleaning process, the pork skin is ready to be processed into attractive dishes. Have you experienced the recipes for processing pork skin? If the answer is yes, please share them in the comments section of this video. If the answer is no, join us in the following few minutes. Pig skin, also known as pork skin, is a popular ingredient in many fields: culinary, medical, and beauty. Pig skin contains a lot of protein, providing energy and essential amino acids for the body. Abundant amount of collagen helps skin firm, elastic, reduces wrinkles, and increases skin moisture. Contains many vitamins and minerals. Vitamin B1, B2, B3, E, selenium, zinc are good for cardiovascular health, immune system, and nervous system. In addition, they contain a lot of saturated fat, but also provide a healthy amount of omega-3 fatty acids. There are many ways to prepare pork skin. They can be put in a shredder, then deep fried at 400 degrees for 60 seconds. Marinate with spices and become an interesting snack. Pig skin is rolled up, covered with a layer of sugar, and then simmered with herbs for many hours, creating a dish that is both beautiful and rich in collagen for women. Or you will boil the pork skin with a little ginger for many hours to create a thick mixture. Pour into mold and leave in the refrigerator overnight. You will immediately have a block of jelly made from pig skin. Combining them with other ingredients such as minced meat, onions, garlic, spices, or fruits, the salad is refreshing and instantly cools diners. Which dish do you like to eat, deep fried or marinated? Pig skin is not just used in cuisine, it's also popular in beauty treatments for women. Rich in collagen, it firms and tightens skin, reduces wrinkles, and boosts moisture. It's packed with vitamins B1, B2, B3, E, selenium, and zinc for skin health. Pig skin helps minimize pores, smooth skin, and treat acne. It brightens skin tone, fades melasma and freckles. You can apply fresh ground pork skin directly or use masks available on the market for convenience and savings. Use these masks 1 to 2 times weekly for best results. Test on a small patch of skin first, especially if sensitive or acne prone. Pig skin is also valuable in medical research. Pig skin biological bandages mimic human skin, aiding in scar healing and infection prevention for burns and wounds.
AI technologies are gradually developing and created by human hands. What if each processing factory gradually has fewer people working? Please share your thoughts below in the comments section of this video. And lastly, don't forget to recommend the channel to your friends so they can watch too. Thank you and goodbye. See you again in the next videos.